I want to talk to you about a design process. What is design? What is a design process examples, and the design process used in IED. The word design is often used as a generic term that refers to anything that was made by a consensus human effort. Design is also a process that is used to systematically solve problems. So a design process is a systematic problem-solving strategy with criteria and constraints used to develop many possible solutions to solve and satisfy human needs or wants, and to narrow down the possible solutions to one final choice. Various design processes are used all across the industry. You may go at one engineering firm and they may have one type, and they may not even refer to it as a design process, but it is a process that engineering firm goes through to develop their ideas, their documents, to have a project done or completed or constructed. So here's an example of one here. Here's another one. Here is I think this is the one that used to be in Project Lead the Way, but this is the one that we typically stick to in this course. Define a problem, generate concepts, develop a solution, construct and test a prototype, evaluate the solution, and present the solution. So we're going to go through those real quick, but you can kind of see the flow chart here where you start. Ask questions and kind of move through as you go. So design process used in IED is an example of one of the processes. It's not the one process of all processes. It's just the one that we use in this class that seems to work and is very concise and accomplishes a lot of what we need to in the class. But there are many design processes across industry. May not even, again, as I've already said, may not even be referred to as a design process, but it is a process that engineers and designers go through. So first of all, define the problem. You need to identify the problem, validate the problem. Who says it's a problem? The needs and the wants related to that problem and prior solutions. You justify the problem. Is the problem worth solving? Create design requirements, the specifications, the criteria, and constraints. You would generate a design brief, which we talk about later in this course. It's a written plan that identifies a problem to be solved and its criteria and its constraints. It's used to encourage thinking of all aspects of a problem before attempting a solution. So after this, you move into the next step. This is just giving you an example as you go through, but generate concepts. So you research, brainstorm. We talked about brainstorming already. You would brainstorm possible solutions, consider additional design goals, apply STEM principles, select an approach, use a decision matrix. A decision matrix is a tool that's used to help narrow down or score the ideas or score whatever specific criteria or solution that you're going to go with. The next one after that is develop a solution. So create detailed design solution. Justify the solution path. You would generate technical drawings, and technical drawings are what is used to develop like CAD drawings. So it would tell someone what the product's made of, how it's made, how big it is, that kind of stuff. And then you would go on to construct and test a prototype. So you would take your drawings and use those drawings to construct it so that you could test it to determine whether or not it actually meets its intended purpose, and if any changes need to be made. So you would plan that testing, and you would find out if it performs as it should. Is it usable? Is it durable? And though you would collect the data from your test, and you would analyze the results, and then you would generate a report if needed, if it's required. And then you would evaluate the solution. You would take the results from that test and you would evaluate and determine if any changes need to be made, if any improvements need to be made, if you need to scrap it and start all over. You would determine that at that point. This is where it gets redesigned or optimized. It gets made better. And then we go to this is still evaluate the solution. Present the solution. So after you have it all done, after you've gone through the testing, you've redesigned it, you've fixed it, you've changed it, you've tested it again, you go through that process, you present it, you document it, you use a portfolio or a PowerPoint presentation, and you communicate that to others in a formal way. And that's pretty much it.